freestyle travel. Hey everybody, Kenny Flannery here as always, and I am in the Netherlands, here in Holland, having a good old time. So last episode I was in Liverpool, doing some stuff with my friend Molly in England, and yeah, it's time to move on. So this episode I'm going to tell you about getting on over to mainland Europe, hitchhiking around, getting over to the Netherlands, and getting where I am right now. One of my best friend's places here near The Hague. Good old Walter. Walter's been on the podcast a couple times. So yeah, should be a good one. I've been super productive lately with video and coding as of late, you know, all the trip hopping stuff. Working on the trip hopping app, been doing a lot of coding, but yeah, it was nice hanging out with Molly and getting back into video a little bit. So you might have noticed some new content going up there on my hopping channel, youtube.com/hopping, my kind of beer travel channel. I posted a video I've been meaning to post for a while, going to Adventurous Brewing in Iowa, so check that out if you're into beer. It's a good one. Good conversation with Audrey over there, the taproom manager, about their beers. Really delicious stuff, so it was cool to finally get that edit done, get that posted. I also finally posted the audiobook for Nomadic Moonlight, the book I wrote about all the full moons since I started traveling. It's a pretty cool book, actually. So every page of that book is from a full moon, starting with the first full moon that I traveled. So it's kind of like every page jumps about a month ahead for the first decade of my travels. So it's kind of cool. And so it was fun to record the audiobook, but I've been sitting on it for a while, and yeah, finally got that done. So you can get that on Audible, Amazon, iTunes if you like, or you can of course still get the paperback or the ebook if you prefer to actually read it. So yeah, that's been going well. Like I said, super productive. Speaking of productivity, I want to bring up Magic Mind again, that little mental performance shot that I take whenever I can. It's super good. You guys should try it if you would like. It's a little 2-ounce shot. It's a lot of matcha tea in there, but also nootropics, different kinds of mushrooms, not the psychedelic kind, but like the kind that just help you be more productive. And yeah, just super cool company. The more I learn about them, I like that too. All their different mushrooms that are in there, all grown in California, and I think the matcha tea is made in Japan, and I don't know, it just seems like they've put a lot of attention to detail into this little shot. It's not really a coffee replacement or anything like that. You can, and I take it with coffee, and yeah, it just kind of helps you dial in, stay focused, and yeah, lock in. So whether I'm coding or video editing, it's pretty nice. I've even taken it before a day hitchhiking, and it's even a more mellow kind of chill day. You're not stressed out about getting a ride or anything. You're just in the groove and getting good rides, like some good rides I'm about to tell you about. So yeah, if you want to check it out, they sent me a code again to save you guys a little bit of money if you do want to try it. This Magic Mind. You can go to magicmind.com/freestyleLT. LT, I think that stands for limited time, but anyways, yeah, magicmind.com/freestyleLT. And yeah, you'll get 48% off if you get your first subscription, because they'll just mail you some every month, so you don't have to worry about it. Or you get 20% off if you're just going to do a one-time kind of purchase and just check it out. But highly recommended. I really like it. And yeah, I've got a couple in my backpack right now, saving for a productive day. So yeah, check that out. And yeah, if you haven't gotten on trip hopping yet, I mentioned it every episode, but it is just getting better and better, and I think I'm gonna have a few days here at Walter's to hopefully release a pretty big feature. So I don't want to talk about it until it's live, but it's something to get excited about. I'm definitely excited about it. So, but yeah, get on trip hopping. There's already a ton of great stuff on there. You can pretty much see where I am in real time, almost at all times. There's a going live feature where you can see people who are hitchhiking or need a ride or just want to hang out, grab a beer. So as more people get on trip hopping, it'll be pretty cool. But right now you can see people around the world who are live traveling. And yeah, after a while, when there's a lot of people, it'll be pretty easy to go meet up if you're just in a random city in one afternoon and solo travel and want to go grab a beer with someone. Hopefully you'll be able to find someone or eventually catch a ride or even get a last minute host in a place or host somebody last minute. So triphopping.com. If you have Android, you can download the app from the Play Store. And yeah, if you're not on there yet, like, now's the time. Jump on into it. So yeah, that's what's going on. So let me tell you a story about getting over from England to mainland Europe and hitching around some Amsterdam and all that good stuff. Let's get into it. All right, yeah, so last episode was my last night in Liverpool. Like I said, it was helping my friend Molly doing some video work for her project, and she had an Airbnb kind of thing, and yeah, spent the night there, recorded that podcast that last night I was there. And at that point, I had been looking at my escape plans to get out of the UK into somewhere a little different, a little more interesting, and Walter was a big kind of part of it. Whenever I get close enough to the Netherlands, it's like I can't not go see Walter, so that was on the list. And yeah, I looked at my options, and the best option that I found was a $20 Ryanair flight from Manchester, England to Cologne, Germany. So I'm like, all right, Manchester's just the neighboring city to Liverpool. Made it real easy. So yeah, that's what I did. I got that ticket. So said goodbye to Molly early in the morning, 6 a.m. She was hopping on a train to London to fly back to Arizona. And yeah, I walked the other way to get to the edge of Liverpool. And my flight wasn't until 10 p.m. And Manchester's maybe an hour or less drive away, so I wasn't too stressed about getting there in time. But yeah, it turned out to be kind of slow, but then it all worked out really well. So I walked like an hour or so to get out of the city to what I thought would be a good hitchhiking spot. And yeah, just stuck out my thumb, and like I said, it felt like a good spot, but almost a couple hours went by without getting a ride. And I was, just pretty tired and like, man. And then some Wi-Fi came across my phone from across the street, and I just took a look, and I saw there was a bus that went like pretty much exactly where I was to exactly the Manchester airport. And I was like, screw it. I've got like, I had like 20 pounds left, and it's kind of like use it or lose it, or save it, carry it around the world until I come back to England, you know? So I'm like, all right, it's less than 20 pounds, so I'll just get this bus directly. And turns out I didn't need the money at all, because it was, the bus came like 20 or 30 minutes after I decided to go for it and just do that. And it was one of those buses where you're supposed to buy a ticket online, and then like they scan your phone or whatever, take a peek at your phone when you get on board. So anyways, I was the last one to get on, and I just asked the driver, I was just like, so how much for a ticket to the airport? And he's like, just hop on, dude. Yeah, they don't take cash, and he could care less. He was just a young dude driver, and yeah, totally casual. Just hop on. So free bus ride. That was sweet. So an hour later, I got to the airport. I was there way too early. So they're like 12 hours before the flight or more, or 11, something like that. So I had to wait a while till I could even get through security. I guess they don't let you in until maybe 3 or 4 hours before your flight. So still got some stuff done. Edited the podcast there at the airport and got some other stuff done. I had one can of beer that I was able to drink that I wouldn't have been able to get through security anyways. The whole 3 ounces of liquid thing. So yeah, finally waited to the last minute to drink that, got through security and got on the flight. And by the time I landed in Cologne, Germany and got through passport control, it was like 2 a.m. But I'd looked ahead of time, satellite view, and that airport is just surrounded by forest. So literally 10 minutes walk from the airport, I found an excellent place to stealth camp right there in the woods. So slept pretty good. No definitive plan at that point. Some ideas. I also have a friend in Amsterdam I was planning to go see. So, but yeah, I was like, maybe I'll hang around. So walked a lot that day. walked through Cologne. I even sent a message to Trust Routes host, but didn't hear back. Kind of last minute, you know. Went and got a Kolsch. Not a very exciting style of beer, but it is the beer that Cologne, Germany is known for, Kolsch. And if you've never been to like Dusseldorf or Cologne, the beer they serve there at places, sort of the way they serve it is they pour you like a pretty small glass, and if your glass is empty, they just come and swap and give you a new glass. They don't even ask. When you're done drinking your beer, and they put a little tick, a little tally on the coaster to keep track of how many beers they've served you. And when you're done drinking and you don't want any more, you're supposed to put the coaster on the top of the glass, and that lets them know to not just keep giving you beer. So if you know the system, it's actually a pretty decent system. But yeah, being that it was just a Kolsch, not a very exciting beer, still refreshing on that day. I just got a couple of those. And yeah, wandered around the city a little bit more. Good old Cologne. And next thing I knew, it was getting late, so I'd walked, I don't know, I probably walked 20 odd miles that day altogether. Got to the north of the city, and by that point I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna go to Amsterdam. So it was late, so I found another place to camp at that point. North of the city, once again, it was pretty easy to find a wooded area. Stealth camp off the road there, and in the morning, started hitchhiking destination Amsterdam. To give you some perspective, if you had a car to drive from where I was to Amsterdam, I think it would have been like 2.5 hours. But it took me all day, and 10 rides, so double-digit ride day, which is a decent day, a decent amount of rides. So it's just a lot of short rides. I never waited too long for a ride, but yeah, it was just one after another, different people inching me along, and yeah, one guy gave me a beer. That's always nice. We were driving along, and then yeah, a couple women got me closer, and then finally a dude who was going to Amsterdam, yeah, got me there a little bit before sunset. It was kind of perfect. He dropped me off on the opposite side of the city where I needed to be, so it ended up being like a 2.5 hour walk to get to my buddy's place, but excellent walk, excellent walk. It was a Friday, and it was super nice, and I think it might have been the first nice day of the year, so everybody was just lined up on the canals with just piles of empty beer bottles and blankets and food and picnicking, and just so many people out and about. You know, I'm hearing every language being spoken, from Dutch to English to Italian to Spanish, just all kinds of people in Amsterdam, you know. So yeah, it was a great walk because I was on the outskirts. I hadn't really been to that part of Amsterdam before, at least not walked around. That's the south east part. It's kind of where I got dropped off. I don't know what the actual neighborhood's called, but right on the ring road there in the southeast, and I was going to the northwest kind of. So yeah, on the outskirts, there's all these canal picnic vibes, and then as I got to the center, you know, you're just smelling weed, and there's hordes of bicycles going by, and it's probably the most vibrant I've ever seen Amsterdam, and I've been there, I don't know, maybe a dozen times at this point, but yeah, it just felt more vibrant than ever, and I think just a combination of being the first super nice day and being a Friday and all that kind of led to all that. So yeah, it just made me happy to be there. Put a smile on my face. Those are the kind of 2-hour walks I don't mind at all, where just the scenery and the vibes are good and also changing minute to minute. So yeah, and then just to get to my friend's place and see him smiling and catch up with him, pretty cool. Pretty cool. He used to run like a nomad base. He's still in the same apartment, but yeah, it was pretty cool. Back in the day, like, it was sort of, if you knew that his place existed, you could kind of show up and ring the buzzer, and someone would let you in, and there could be a dozen people up there at his place, sort of like couch surfing in a way. But you know, you could be there for 30 minutes, and then you could hear the buzzer ring, and then you're the one letting someone in, hosting them almost. Like, yeah, he had that going on for some years, actually, but not so much anymore. But yeah, we caught up. I spent several days there, I think about a week actually, in Amsterdam altogether. just hanging out with him, getting some video editing stuff done. He had like an external monitor, so had a little nook up there to get a bunch of video editing done, get some coding done, and then in between I'd run around and go on some walks with him, and got a bunch of good beers and stuff. He took me to some good beer spots, some he'd been to before, some I'd been to with him a year ago, and some new ones as well. We walked for a few hours one day, like halfway to Harlem and back, and found this one beer spot kind of randomly. The owner of that place intentionally hires people with like different handicaps and whatnot, be it autistic or hearing issues, different stuff like that, and happens to make some really great beer. And it's kind of funny, like we got a 6-pack to go, and it's like this one long 6-pack where all the beers are side by side, so it looks kind of like a gift box. And on the back he highlights a different employee, so it's like a nice picture of one of the employees and a little story about him. It was in Dutch, so I didn't read the whole thing, but kind of tells their favorite beer and stuff. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Gold medal winning Saison, decent stout, for example. So yeah, good times in Amsterdam. The last night I was there was his birthday, so we ran around that night going all kinds of different little beer spots and stuff. That was super fun. Yeah, just hit up all kinds of places, and yeah, pretty hungover in the morning when it was time to go. It was yesterday morning shit. But yeah, managed to drag myself out into the city, and it was an hour walk to get to the good hitchhiking spot once again. But where I was going to, Amsterdam to The Hague, basically where Walter lives, is less than an hour drive, just like a 40-minute drive. So I figured I'd only need one ride, maybe two, and sure enough, that's what happened. Once I got to the hitchhiking spot, it's just 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I made a sign that said The Hague, and yeah, after 5 or 10 minutes, a guy in a van picked me up who was going past The Hague, so he had no problem. Good conversation with him, and he took me on, yeah, to Voorburg, actually, is the town near The Hague, right before it. So dropped me off, and got to see Walter's smiling face. So that was just yesterday, catching up with him. The wife has got a new kid, a new little baby. So got to meet the new baby, and yeah, have a few beers, and went to the market today and got some stroopwafel, one of my favorite things. Stroopwafel, hagelslag, probably my two favorite Dutch things. If you don't know what those are, look them up. They're amazing. I fucking love it, actually. So yeah, I'm just happy to be here, and the weather's good, everyone's in good moods. Walter just went to, I think it's like a birthday party or something like that. They all went there, so that's why I got this moment to record the podcast until they get back. A little barbecue tonight, so yeah, pretty easygoing times. And I got some ideas for what's next, but as always, I like to put that in the outro. A little shorter episode this time around, but yeah, let me jump into the outro because I got some decent ideas for what might be next. Alright, so yeah, Netherland vibes. Pretty good, so I'll probably be here at Walter's for, you know, into the week. A few more days at least. And yeah, then it's time to make moves. So I'm kind of leaning towards Portugal. Maybe getting down to Portugal. I've also never been to Luxembourg, which is this tiny little country pretty nearby to here. And I don't know how I've never been there. I guess it's just never been on the way. So I think I might just go out of my way to see it. And Walter was telling me that part of Belgium on the border is like supposed to be pretty nice kind of nature area. So that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm leaning towards. I'll stick my thumb out and try to get to that area, see what it's like. Maybe try to find a host or something in Luxembourg, stay there for a night or three, and just, I don't know, see what Luxembourg's all about. I really don't know. Who knows what's going on there. Might find that out. And yeah, so just for kicks. And then, yeah, I was thinking going down to Portugal. I do have a friend down there who's hopefully around, and I've only been to Portugal once, and just in the north, and I was at a hitch fest. Actually, like, gave a talk at a hitchhiking festival. It's kind of funny, but yeah, because of that, I was just like on the festival grounds or whatever, so it wasn't really like a Portuguese experience, you know. It was a bunch of hitchhikers and musicians and stuff from all over the world. I did hang around in Porto a little bit, but that was it. So yeah, I just think Portugal would be pretty nice, probably this time of year, pretty awesome too. So strongly leaning towards that as my next destination. So yeah, that's the thought. Like I mentioned earlier in the podcast, there is a good feature coming to trip hopping, and hopefully I can get that done this week. It does involve, like, I made a partnership with this other company, so I need to like show them a demo or something like that to, I don't know, get it approved or whatever. But yeah, that'll be a pretty useful feature for a lot of people. So we'll see. Hopefully I got an announcement on the next podcast, or just watch the social junk and post something about it. And yeah, more videos to come as I have time. Yeah, check out that Magic Mind stuff I mentioned in the beginning of the podcast too. That link was magicmind.com/freestyleLT. If you want some of that Magic Mind, I will definitely be drinking it this week as I get stuff done. Walter's working on this AI startup, so we're gonna definitely nerd out quite a bit, just sharing workflows and things like that, just learning about what he's been doing. Yeah, AI has been, large language models in particular, have been extremely helpful in coding for trip hopping stuff. Just yeah, incredible. It's gnarly, like how valuable that has been, and how much better it gets. Like every month, there's like a big leap in there. I don't know how interested you guys are in the large language model stuff, ChatGPT, Gemini, and all that junk. But yeah, pretty useful. So I'm curious to see what kind of stuff Walter's been getting into, because not only has he been using it to code, but it's part of his businesses. Yeah, summarizing internal documents for companies and things like that. So he's using it on both ends, kind of. He's using it to make the product that is also embedded with it. Large language model stuff. So yeah, should be good. So that's it for now. And yeah, hope you guys are all doing awesome. And yeah, I will see you down the road. With all my shit straight, I'll get my big